Mason.
Sup?
You want to hear a story?
Yep.
I remembered this one as I was going through my contacts today. I needed to. I was trying to get in contact with a couple builders to get a recommendation from them, and one of the names that popped up reminded me of a story that this gentleman told. So, I'm going to try and be a little vague in some spots because this is not my story. This is the story that he told us. And so, for everyone at home, this is most likely fictional. I'm sure that this happened in some capacity. Enjoy the ride. So, Joe and I, or I think it was Joe and I, or maybe Forrest and I, but we got sent out to this house in Fountain Hills. And we were told that they have a pool bathroom that was locked and wasn't opening. So the key cylinder had failed. So they've got the key, but they can't unlock it. There's no other access to this pool bathroom. So it's the end of the day, and we're looking at it and we're going, well, how are we supposed to get into this thing? Like, we're not a locksmith. We could call a locksmith to do it. Our supervisor was basically telling us, like, hey, get a locksmith. I think we also had like a company Christmas dinner that night or something like that. So we were asking the builder, we're like, hey, is it okay if we get a locksmith to come back another time? He's like, no, guys, I'm sorry, I can't. Like, this is it's a Friday, and I've got cabinet guys coming in Monday, and they're going to be setting all the cabinets directly in here, and I can't have this locked up for them. So we're looking at this door. We start rolling it over in our heads, and we start going, there's a slim chance that with the way this door is built, we can pull the glass out of the front, because we know how these things go together, and then be able to get into the area to open up this door. And the guy's like, if you guys could do that's fine. Like, do what you got to do. So we pull the glass out of the door, and then the lock is still frozen. So we ended up having to pry the frame enough to where we can get the multi-points out of their areas, pop it open, and he's like, cool, thanks guys. Like, I know that we can't get everything fixed, but now my cabinet guys can do their thing. So cool, that's great. We came back another time, and he starts telling us this story. He's like, because we're always asking, like, hey, like, what experience do you have previously? Like, just what's your story, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he starts telling us that he did a lot of work for a gentleman who, this is the story, and if I remember the details correctly, he went over off the coast of Russia and illegally harvested, it was like hundreds of thousands of snow crab. Like, a ridiculous amount. Like,
a snow crab, like, what the fuck is that?
I think it's an expensive, I might be wrong on this, but it's like a expensive crab that you can like catch and sell, but I'm pretty sure there's limitations on it because they want to make sure that they're maintaining
value.
That, but also just the generations to come, so they're not just devastating it. We've got one good season, like, woo, yeah, crabs on sale, and the next year it's like, we can only catch 2, and those are the last 2 in the ocean. So he does this. The Russian government catches up to him, but they can't find where all these crabs are that he supposedly caught. So they throw him in jail for several years. He gets out of jail several years later. And sure enough, he had them on ice the entire time. So it's like hundreds of millions of dollars or a couple $1 billion worth of these crabs that he had. So he was able to sell them, kind of store some of them in warehouses, stuff like that. So that's how our builder friend got introduced to this gentleman. So from what we were told too, there were certain things with this gentleman that he was very nice to our builder friend, that he would let him, like, if he found out like they were going to be going on vacation, he's like, hey, take my private jet, like
Oh, shit.
to where you're going. So good guy on that aspect. But there were some things too that seemed a little interesting in the fact that what we were told is that there would be certain times where the phone starts, the phone on a table would start flashing a red light. And he would go, oh, do you have to take a phone call? Like, that's fine if you got to do that. And he's like, oh, no, that means someone's on the line right now listening in. And they're trying to pick it up. And if I remember correctly, it was a 3-letter agency that was referenced in all of that.
Oh, jeez.
So there were certain things in whatever this guy's business dealings were that seemed to exist outside of the normal just business dealings as per the...
So what did he do for this guy? Did he do work for him?
Yeah, did a lot of construction for buildings and stuff like that.
So he built the building that he put a freezer in to freeze the crabs.
I don't know if he built that one, and I don't know all of the details, but he had done, I think it was a bunch of warehouses.
So
for
did
this
he ever
gentleman.
go back to jail? That you know of?
No, I don't believe so.
I feel like that could be a movie.
Dude.
About snow crabs.
That's nuts, right?
Yeah.
You just need to kind of polish up a couple parts and you're off to the races. Speaking of movies, did you see the new Bert Kreischer movie?
No, I haven't.
Dude.
What's it called?
The Machine?
The Machine, yeah, no.
Yeah.
It was based off a real story.
Yeah, it's off of his real story.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We went and saw it last weekend when it came out, opening weekend.
Oh, yeah. No, the kiddos went to go see the new Little Mermaid movie.
Yeah, and?
Yeah. I don't think they've ever seen the original one, but they liked it.
Nice.
Even Abby said that it was actually really good. Because a lot of the songs were original. They didn't change up too much.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, but no. You know what movie I want to see? Is the new Transformers movie that comes out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We had this conversation before, haven't we? Because you're not a big fan.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds right.
This one looks way cooler.
I don't know. I'm just not a Transformers guy, I guess.
Loser.
I gotta see the new Fast and Furious, though.
Yeah. What about Indiana Jones?
Part of me looks at the trailer and goes, it looks interesting. The other part of me goes, Harrison Ford is very old, so can they actually make a good movie?
Dude, he's been in a couple movies lately.
Really?
Do you have Apple TV?
Mm-mm.
Let me pull it up. I forget what the name of it's called.
Might be able to get it now since we got new phones. Now the whole debacle with our phone provider.
We did?
No, me and the wife.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that was...
You switch over?
Yeah, so we switched services, and so she was on a family plan with her mom and her brother with Verizon already, which, okay, I guess I'm saying the company's name. And so I went in there because I wanted to know, like, okay, could we get a bundle with a home internet that would be cheaper than going to Cox and getting, like, something through T-Mobile as well, just for our phone service.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like everything was going to come out pretty well, but so they give you like the temporary phone number, then you switch your phone number over, all that stuff. So we were having a lot of trouble with the wife's
Carrier.
Well, no, just switching the phone number over. So at one point she has like two phones. One's is her original number, and one's the new phone that doesn't have the number. So we went through the process to switch it. It's not working. So we go back to the store the next day and we're like, hey, we're having this trouble. Different guy who's there, and he seems just like not he's kind of giving us like it should be pretty clear as far as how this goes. Manager comes over, doesn't seem like a very people person, if you know what I mean, and they're supposed to kind of be customer service. So the guy's like, hey, you should just be able to call the number and it switches over. We're like, hey, yeah, I'm sorry, like we did try, so would you mind like if
doing it?
Yeah, with us? And he's like, he's like, sure, whatever. And this is what he says to us. He's like, I just want to let you guys know, though, like, and he shows us his iPad, like, there's no one in the queue right now that needs to be helped, but I'm commission based. So if someone comes in, I can't hang out with you guys to help you out. I'm gonna have to go over, and so it's just like,
What service provider is this?
Verizon.
You could have just rhymed it. You didn't have to say the exact word.
No. I'm fucking paying you guys. That's what I'll say.
I've had really good customer service with some of the Verizon companies.
The guy that we dealt with on the first day, super nice.
Yeah.
Great guy to work with, and so he was very kind of, I don't know, he was just cool dude to say, hey, here's what we got, here's what we can offer, let me try and walk through this with you, and didn't seem to be rushing anything. And obviously it's like, okay, yeah, now that I know, it's like maybe it's because there was a commission involved. But on the backside too, I now look at the second guy that I met and just almost have this like, oh, screw you attitude, because what ends up happening in that whole process is we start hitting these walls. And he ended up having to call the customer service rep that only the people at the stores can get access to.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time he left, he goes, oh, wow, okay, I see what you guys are talking about. I hope that not everyone has to go through this because we're going to have a huge volume coming in the store. And it's like, no shit, dumbass. So fuck you, because when we came in here, instead of helping us, you gave us kind of the, I'm too good for you if you're not going to be making me any money. And it's like, well,
was he the only person in the store?
No, there's a couple others, but they're helping people already. So he was the
Gotcha.
guy who's just helping us, and it's just like, God damn it.
What a dick.
Yeah.
Them show is called Shrinking
Oh yeah, is that
with
I heard
Jason
them.
Segel.
I heard them
He's
advertising
actually
for it.
he's actually super funny in it. Not,
Oh, really?
Not Jason Segel. He's funny, but
Harrison Ford.
yeah, he does a really good job.
That's cool.
So I'm curious to see, because our team event is the on July. I think it's like July 1st.
Oh really?
Is when the new Indiana Jones movie comes out.
That'll be dope.
Yeah, just because we had to choose between Transformers and Indiana Jones, and me. I think me, Scott, and Brad were the only ones that wanted Transformers.
I think there's
like,
an
really?
age grouping right there on that one.
Yeah, I know, right?
Everyone else is in their 20s. You guys are in your 30s. Did you do anything this last week?
Went to cousin's graduation party. Graduated college. She's a teacher. Idiot. Yeah. Had a pool party, I think, at my mom's
Nice.
house on Sunday.
At your
Oh,
mom's
it's too
house?
hot. Yeah. Or the place my mom's staying.
The one that was giving you a little trouble about the house?
Yeah. That hasn't lived in the house for
Mm-hmm.
11 years? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, interesting.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big pool guy.
Really?
I can't, just sit out in the sun and, shoot the shit and swim in the pool. I have to be doing something.
Yeah.
And back in my 20s, I would just drink alcohol. But, I'm not into that.
Yeah.
So I feel bad. I swim for a little bit with the kids, and then I'm just like, all right, inside.
Yeah.
What do we
That's
need to
why
do?
you got to put a basketball hoop in there so you could shoot hoops, play games like that.
I know.
My grandparents have a volleyball net that they throw up, so we were playing volleyball on Memorial Day.
Yeah, it's not my pool, though. Or my mom's pool.
Yeah. Well,
But yeah, that's what I did. Nothing special.
nice.
Yep. First day of summer camp was today, though,
Yeah.
which was cool, which was nice. But both the kids cried when the wife dropped them off.
Is it like a stay a week thing, or?
No, it's like they go Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 8 to 3 o'clock.
So
It's like a normal summer camp
Yeah.
thing. But I think they were just nervous because plus my youngest one, shit, it took him half the year to warm up to his teacher. So he's not a big. I think he has some social anxiety.
Yeah.
So he was crying already. But then they were totally fine. You know how kids are, or how it used to be,
Yeah.
just the thought of it, you get anxiety, but then once you're there, it's not a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things.
Heck, that's how I am as an adult. I just don't cry about it. I just don't talk to anyone.
Sit in the corner.
I'll just kind of hang out, see what everyone's doing, and then once I warm up to everyone, it's like, okay, we're good to go. I'll be a full-on people person. It's part of it's the attitude going into the room sometime, but
Oh yeah, your own attitude. Like, oh,
yeah,
fuck.
I don't want to be here. Or, all right, let's do this. Let's have some fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yesterday we had a bunch of friends over to the apartment, and there's a park like half a mile away from us,
Mm-hmm.
and it's got this hill on it. So I'd been looking at it going, you know what we should do? Roll out a long piece of plastic and do a slip and slide down the hill. So that's what we did. We had just about a 50-foot runway of plastic.
How'd you get water there?
So I've got I have a 32-gallon trash can. I've got 2 of them. I had one of them with me yesterday, and then I had 2 5-gallon buckets. So we filled them, we put those all in the back of the truck, filled them with water, and then the part is when we get there, we're kind of looking at it going, how do we get the 32 gallons of water from the truck to, like, down to the part where we're going to be doing it? So we did it. And then you just, instead of having, like, the typical, like, oh, connect the hose, there's water constantly running, you just throw water when someone's about to run.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a ton of fun.
Anybody get hurt?
Small cuts. Everyone had, like, a small cut just because you're sliding down a hill at
and it's
nice
not,
little clip.
And this time in Arizona, it's not, you don't have the most plush grass.
No, but it was still pretty green.
Was it?
Yeah.
Green? But as far as, like, the soil's pretty hard.
It wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
It was more like if you hit the end of the slip and slide and didn't kind of pop yourself up pretty quickly, then you're kind of scratching yourself up on the dirt. So there were some people that had a little bit more than others.
Yeah.
So, but that was fun. Had people back over to the house, had dinner, and then some of the people had to bounce. But
yeah, how's your apartment?
it's good. I like it. It's a
Yeah.
good spot. So.
Is this the first time you haven't lived at home?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Smart man.
Saved me a lot of money.
Yeah.
Paying rent, I'm like, son of a bitch.
It sucks. You ever added it up through the year? Multiply it times 12 months and see how much money it is?
For what we're paying now?
Yeah.
No, it's like $1,700. Let me do it real quick. All right.
About 20 grand?
1,700. That's times 12 equals $20,400.
It could be in your pocket if you guys just lived with your mom.
I suggested it. I said, babe, I'll build us a shed in the backyard. Put a little cooler in there. We'll be fine. Just save money.
She doesn't seem like she would be about that.
No, she's not.
Oh, shit. I just thought I spilled my drink on my laptop. Fuck me.
She's all about us having our own space.
Yeah.
So, like, me and some of the guys had this idea that what we're going to do is buy a, like, couple acre property and then build, like, several houses on it so that we could all live on one property together, build, like, a huge shop for, like, working on cars, shop for, like, construction and all this stuff, and have, like, huge grass areas so we could just, like,
do it.
Tool around. See? All the guys are on board. We're like, all right, like, we'll combine our finances. We'll make this work, right? We're going to start a commune together that's more not hippie shit, but more like motherfuckers getting together. And I brought this up to the then fiance, and she was not happy about the idea. She very much dislikes the idea. She's like, well, we need our own space. Like, I want us to be able to go home together. She wants us to be a happy family.
Oh, okay. See, when you were saying that, I was envisioning multiple compounds with a shared backyard.
We could do that too. I also had the idea of, like, having everyone buy a house in the same street. She's still kind of iffy on that one.
That'd be better. You have your own place.
And then just knock down all the walls. And just
giant pool, put a hill for slip and slides.
Heck
shops.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So.
What does she do for a living?
She's a NICU nurse at Phoenix Children's.
I knew that.
Yeah. So.
You guys popping out any babies soon?
The plan was wait 2 to 3 years. And then we're coming home the other day, and she's like, you know, we do have an extra bedroom in the apartment that no one's using, so...
How long ago did she say that?
2 days ago.
How'd you answer that?
Hell no.
Oh, shit, dude.
And she was joking, but also, you know, once the jokes start, the serious conversation starts soon after.
But what if she was like a day late? And she was just like trying to freshen you up just in case. And you fucking blew it.
I don't know if I don't think we've been married long enough for us to know if she was a day late.
How long is it?
It'll be a month in 8 days.
You only got to miss one.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll find out here, I guess, soon, but yeah. No.
Do you have a rant today?
I kind of have 2 things that I have a little angst about.
Is this going to come off sexist?
Maybe. I thought. Are we talking about the paternity leave one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe. Well, no, it shouldn't. Because when did you have your kids?
$25.
And you're 33 now?
34.
Okay. So it was before you were in real estate?
Yes.
Okay. Did you get paternity leave?
Paternity?
Paternity leave.
Yeah, that's
the dad gets off work.
That's the guy. Paternity. Maternity leaves for the women.
Yes.
No. But yes.
Did you take some time off work?
Yes.
Okay.
But also, I was also working for her family's funeral business. Mm-hmm. So I kind of got special treatment. But I mean, like, I didn't stay long.
How long?
Like, I think I think the first one was born like on like a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. So
the rest of the week and back to work on Monday.
See, that's solid. Do you know Washington has 3 months of paternity leave
Washington what?
State.
3 months?
Yeah.
But that's probably only if you're a W-2 employee for a business. Like all businesses have to have that?
Probably. So, but
that's a lot.
Here's where yes. Okay. So I kind of wanted to ease into it.
Okay, so this wasn't be sexist. I read that maternity like it was the women.
No, yeah. I'm going to keep any sexist comments to myself because we don't need to get canceled yet.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's start with.
But a leave makes more sense for a woman because it came out of her body versus a male.
Usually she's the one nursing it, if possible.
Several things, yes.
Okay, so because my cousin got 3 months of paternity leave because he has a job with the government. My brother got 8 weeks of paternity leave because he's union with the utility company. Mm-hmm. So there's a part of it where if you have it, I wouldn't say don't use it because whatever. It's like if it's available, take it, yeah. But to me, it's even the fact that it exists for that long of a time. Like the 3 months one, that's a quarter of the year. So the part that I struggle with is like, okay, you have some of these larger companies, if it's Apple, Meta, who think Fortune 500, right? Where they've got so many employees that if one person leaves, you've got so much crossover, someone can pick up the slack, or even if you've got to pay someone part-time, whatever it is, temp worker to fill in, it doesn't affect your bottom line when it's a small majority. When you're a small business, though...
I'm forced to do that.
Yeah, you take someone out for a quarter?
Yeah, because I think Arizona maternity, there's a state law for maternity, but I don't think there is anything for paternity.
Yeah. So, but that's where it's like some people are like, oh no, like it's fine that the guys are doing this. I'm like,
what kind of guy are you though?
I've had a lot. I don't know.
I've
had a lot of pushback on this, and so to me, it's like
I'm just different because like, what are you doing for that time?
That's what I asked.
What the fuck are you doing?
What I was told is you're bonding with the kid. It's an experience you don't get back. It's a once in a lifetime thing. What the fuck are you doing? Here's what happened to my brother. My brother is a badass when it comes to work. He likes to work and provide for his family and all that shit. He got 8 weeks. Here's the advantage he got. It didn't have to be in a row.
That's nice.
So what he was able to do is take 6 weeks and then take the 2 weeks later and maybe...
Yeah. I might have tried to turn that into like having 4-day work weeks for like the rest of the year.
I think there was it had to be within like the first 3 months or something, but like it allows for, if someone was creative, you can go on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
But
you're not going on vacation with a newborn.
Like,
especially if it's your first
more like
one.
Go up to a cabin or
I get what you're saying.
Something like that. And let's just say I know of someone who did, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But to me, it's like I had the whole, you're bonding with the kid. You don't get that time back. What the fuck are you doing with that kid? They're going to sit on your chest and skin-to-skin contact. That's what you're doing. Oh, it's those little moments where they take a shit in a diaper they can't see because they can't open their fucking eyes yet. That's what's going on. Like, the first week, 2 weeks, whatever it is, like, if there's complications with the pregnancy, stay home and take care of the mom. That's what we're here to do.
Yeah.
Because she's the one who's taking care of that baby very physically if she's nursing the baby. And if she's out of commission, then yes, the family needs help. I'm all about that. Mm-hmm. For people who are W-2, though, that work a 9 to 5 or some equivalent of 8 hours a day, let's get this straight. Let's assume you commute 45 minutes to work. Let's do an hour to work, hour home from work. You take a 30-minute lunch. That's 10 and a half hours out of your day. You want to sleep 8 hours a night? That's extremely healthy, good for you. 18 and a half hours. 5.5 hours of your day you can spend with that kid. Do your skin-to-skin contact, whatever the fuck it is. Oh, it's those moments you don't get back. What is it, the Instagram moments? The TV moments? What the fuck are you doing?
But that's the thing, they don't do that. They say that, but like they don't. They do skin-to-skin for like 20 minutes a day, which, like you said, they could have done on the back end. They're just lazy people. Like, unless, like, I would see it if they plan something. Like, I would take advantage of it. It's like, hey, dude, we're going to go up to the cabin for a couple of weeks or do this. Like, that's cool. But, like, what are you going to do at home? What are you going to do when besides caring for the woman that it came out of?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's breastfeeding. Even if you don't breastfeed, this, they still have to even pump for a certain amount of time just because of the everything. But it's like, what do you, like, I just don't know, like, how do you not get bored?
That was my brother's thing. He was itching to go back to work.
And
he loves his wife and he loves his baby a ton. So, like, he looks forward to coming home and seeing his baby. But at the same time, he's wired to where it's like, hey, I've got to go provide for the family, not just be like, oh, like, I need to see my baby and have this time with my baby. Have that time with a 5-year-old kid.
No, videotape them.
Yeah, put up a webcam. Just so that you can
see what they do every single day.
Yeah.
I bet you they don't even spend half the day with the kid. Guaranteed.
And if they do, they're not paying attention. They're just holding the fucking kid.
Yeah, or rocking it with his foot while you're watching TV.
Yep.
Like, I would do
spending time with
if I got paid the amount of money that I'm making now to be a stay-at-home dad, but you weren't allowed to do anything else that made money, I would not do it. I would go batshit crazy. Like, I just don't know how, like, you just don't get bored. Like, there's not much to do.
If I were a stay-at-home husband, I would be...
And when I'm saying bored, I'm picturing the kids at school and you like have nothing to do. Yeah. Not necessarily newborns, because that's a lot of shit to do.
Oh, yeah.
I was more thinking about like when the kids go to school, even when they're kindergarten, first grade. Yep. It's like, what are you going to do?
Yep.
Stuck inside the home all day?
And I think in
you have to love it, yeah.
In the end, it comes down to also like you said, how you're wired. And it comes down to also like, what professions are we in? We're in professions where, how do you make money? Who writes you a check every Friday? No one.
I wish.
No one does. So all your money, your family's food, your family's roof over their head is dependent. There's a direct correlation between the work you do
Technically,
and all of those things.
MasonOxendale PLLC writes me a check once a month. So, if we're going to be honest.
Okay. And then how does Mason PLLC make money?
As the owner, I have to go get it.
So there's a tax workaround, but all the other content is exactly correct, where it's to say, hey, if you don't do anything, there's no money that comes in. If you were to say, hey, I'm taking 3 months off, that money doesn't come in.
3 months seems excessive.
3 months is excessive.
So if Washington gets 3 months of paternity leave, how much is mandatory for maternity leave?
I didn't even look.
In comparison, it's got to be 6+ months, 6 to 12 months.
But equality would say 3.
Yeah, but let's be realistic. There's no such thing.
Yep. Did you see with Twitter allowing for posting long form videos? The Daily Wire posted "What Is a Woman" documentary on there, and then some people I think were reporting it or some crap like that, saying it violated Twitter guidelines or some law in Germany. Twitter reviewed it, or originally it was taken down for a bit, and then Twitter reviewed it, and they're like, no, this is fine. And then it got pinned to like the top of Twitter or something like that.
Really?
And last I checked, the post had 160 million views.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm not on Twitter. I don't know how to work it. I don't like it.
Really?
Yeah. But I don't really like, I'm probably on the worst app the most, which is like TikTok that tracks your every move and probably cloning me right now.
Oh, yeah.
But that's just because when I go poop, you just start swiping, and a 2-minute poop turns into 25 minutes, and you've lost 25 minutes of your life.
I just started doing this thing end of last week because I was noticing I'm losing a lot of time on social media. I'll have my 5 critical tasks for the day. It's like my power list.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. You get that from Andy Frisella? Yeah.
I'm not allowed so like my personal thing is I'm not allowed to go on social media until I get that stuff done, unless I were to like check in on like something that I posted. But it's supposed to be like, all right, check it, get off the app. And
yeah, and isn't that like those are like your power 5 or like the things you want to get done first? Like you don't want to put it off and wait till the end of the day. Like
those are your critical tasks for the day that you got to get done for it to be a win. Yeah. So that's been helping me out. But yeah, the paternity leave thing is
that's a little absurd.
Which, because people will talk about like, oh, they've got it in Europe and some like in a lot of European countries. It's like, yeah, go look at Europe. Go look at Europe. Are they the leader in innovation, in industry, in any of that shit? No, they're fucking not.
I don't know the answer to that, so
I'm gonna say no, they're fucking not. Because you look at it, what the fuck are they trying to do? They're living behind us, and people will be like, oh, but their healthcare and all this bullshit. Shut the fuck up.
Do they have universal healthcare?
Some countries have different healthcare programs.
Oh yeah, it's all weird over there.
I think it's what's the Scandinavian countries or some shit like that.
How long do you have to live in Canada to have citizenship?
I think don't you have to apply for citizenship over there?
Oh, fuck.
Or are you talking about yearly? Because I know it has to be at least 6 months a year that you live there to be able to maintain your health care.
Yeah.
So I know of several Canadians who live here for.
How do you prove that you live there besides just making that your main mailing address? People knock at your doors.
I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Weird.
Which they might be able to track, like statements.
Speaking of doors, guess who's starting to buy houses again in Arizona?
Who?
You know, just say it.
The company that I have partial ownership in?
Yes, correct.
Open Door?
Yes.
Oh.
You're legally allowed to say that because you are ownership.
Yes, I'm an owner. I will speak as a small, very, very, very small minority owner.
Have you checked that, by the way?
I have not.
Are you afraid to?
No, I switched my phone and I can't get in I haven't logged in.
What'd you buy? You bought one share for like $5 or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So
look it up real quick.
Yeah, but yeah, they stopped buying for a while because I think Arizona fucking raped them when they went through their buying thing.
Yep.
But yeah, they're buying again.
Let's see.
They're not doing crazy prices like they were. Still pretty good prices. What is it at?
It's at $237.
What'd you buy it for? Does it tell you?
I bought it. I think I bought it around 4 something.
Oh, but you
like
bought
high
it
fours.
just to track it, right?
Yeah, I didn't sink money into it. I did that so that I could try and see if there's any reports that they sent to owners when everything was going nuts to say, like, are they reporting, hey guys, like, we're losing a shit ton of money. And it was just public that they were losing a shit ton of money because their stock price in it being $237 right now, it dropped below $1 at one point. Yeah. So, anyways.
Shit. But yeah, no, they're just buying again.
Yeah. What's different this time around? Because I'm hoping
very
that
different.
They,
I mean, slightly different. They used to do their, what do you call it, inspection? Was somebody from Open Door. I don't know if they're a licensed inspector, licensed. I don't know what their background is, but they work for Open Door, and they did an exterior walkthrough. Like went through your backyard. Hopefully they peek through windows. I mean, hopefully.
I don't think.
I doubt they did, but they did an exterior walkthrough and looked at pictures and then came up with everything.
When you sold your house to Open Door, were you there when they did the exterior walkthrough?
No.
Did you ever talk to any clients about when they sold to Open Door?
No, most of my clients that we sold to Open Door, they were vacant. Okay.
I had a client that we got an offer from Open Door, didn't end up going through with it. It was a whole stupid thing. Anyways, I got the notification that, like, hey, Open Door's on their way. So I texted my client. I'm like, they should be there in 15 minutes. He's like, dude, they just left. I'm like, oh, were they just early? He's like, they were in the backyard for like 2 minutes and left.
I bet you they scope the edges of the roof and the foundation and call it a day.
And it must have been fast.
Yeah.
Because also, like, describe to people what they would do for the inside of the house.
What do you mean, like, as far as inspecting it?
Yes.
They looked at the pictures and the videos that you posted.
So, and who took the video?
The owner/agent.
And on the video, how much detail can you see even with today's amazing cell phone cameras?
Yeah, not that much. Get a generalization of paint color, holes in walls, what the flooring or carpet is in good or bad shape.
How many, like, small holes in walls
0.
can you see?
0.
That was
even texture on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't even, unless you get close enough, you can't tell if there's 6 different textures on the wall because they've patched patched it so many times.
Yep.
But yeah, but they are getting a little bit smarter. They now do for their inspection. They do a 20-minute exterior walk and a 20-minute interior walk. So you do have somebody has to be there and have access to it.
Yeah.
So
which, if the terms are the same as far as, hey, it's a cash offer,
yeah, they still ask for a fuckload of money.
On repairs.
Yeah, I think 5 to 6% is their fee and stuff.
Shit.
So you want to know how much? Fuck, we haven't technically closed yet though.
Next couple weeks.
Yeah, just because they could screw us.
Mm-hmm. Who's this for?
That was their what they asked for repair costs.
From who?
For my dad's house.
Well,
but like, I thought this was a steal for my dad's house. like I was expecting like triple that. Like I was honestly, I was like, I don't even know what to expect.
All right, and so this is the part where, as an partial owner of Open Door, I kind of look at them and go, hey guys, like you're missing the mark here. It's you're flipping houses in just an ignorant way, and I understand that the business model only works with volume, but when your volume that you're doing is on terrible business decisions, what are you doing?
Yeah, but I mean, like, yeah, if I don't see this happening, but any reason shape, or form, say the interest rates drop again real low and fucking buyers skyrocket and the houses increase crazy again and Open Door starts selling them off, your stock's going to look pretty good because they have a lot of fucking inventory.
That's true.
Like, that's
very true.
They have to be banking on that. Like, they have to be all in on that. Otherwise, I don't see how they make money. They probably make money off of, like, if I wonder what percentage actually use their lending company. I mean, you have to use their title company. But, like, I wonder how much, like, they make off of that and stuff, too.
Yeah, which the other part, too, is when you think about it, for them to be buying these houses, whatever money they lose on it, it's they haven't lost the whole house. So they still have assets to back against it. So even if they had to sell all the houses at a loss, it's like, okay, is that going to look good on the P&L sheet? No. But at the same time, it's not like they bought a bunch of cryptocurrency and then just watched it go to zero and go, shit.
It failed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Well, this was a little long, huh?
Yeah.
Supposed to be done with the podcast.
20 minutes. Hour-long episodes.
Are they?
Yeah.
Cool.
Sometimes hour 20. We set a new record with our guests last time. The audio was all fucked up, and it made me so mad because they were such a great guest.
I guess they're a little different because if you have longer interviews, that means there's actually, like, interesting stuff being said. Yeah,
so if you pay attention to the length of episodes, sometimes we're being courteous at keeping it around an hour. And then if you look for short ones, use your imagination. Ladies and gentlemen,
Nope. I think you should start it off different. I think you should start going, guys, you ready to get hammered? Boom. Into it.
Or
get it? Sledgehammers?
Or do you
get hammered?
How about you say?
But usually, like, when Joe's here, which he does, I guess he doesn't like me anymore. I must have said something mean to him.
No, he's having fun tonight, we hope. And
can we just call him out? Since we have so many listeners?
I mean, we could, I guess.
Is he on a date with a male or a female?
Female.
Or a he, she?
Does
he know yet?
I have sources that can confirm that it's a female.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, let's get hammered, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sledgehammers in the Office podcast, where we celebrate the heavy hitters on the job site and in the office. Today I'm joined by Mason What are we drinking?
A little Monster Ultra.
I thought you were getting off that stuff.
Yeah, I need a drink for the podcast. Like, I've taken like 4 sips.
I've destroyed this thing already. The Shamrock Farms chocolate milk, the whole milk, and
nothing but the milk.
Having it like once a week, it just tastes awesome.
Yeah, since you drink so much milk.
Yeah.
Would you call yourself like a udder/titty person?
I might, yeah.
Okay.
Didn't 2 Chainz rapper name used to be Titty Boy?
Shut up, I did not know
that. I believe that's a real thing.
We do a bad job of letting the nonsense trickle into the...
Apparently.
Yeah, we really do.
All right. We'll jump into the construction side real quick. So this is kind of more something I'm excited about. I've got a project I'm going to be managing. Oh, I got to tell you who it's for once we're off the podcast.
Done.
They're doing a master bathroom remodel. We're going to be framing their ceilings lower, which usually we're going the other way. We're dropping it from 12 feet down to 9.5 feet, tearing out the tub, moving the shower. It's going to be all granite walls, 0 depth walk-in, brand new cabinets, new windows, stuff like that. So we're walking into this project, going to tear the whole thing out and redo it. So it's going to be me and one of the guys from the company that I work for doing all the demo framing, and then we're lining up all our subcontractors. So the nice part is that with some of the clients that we work with, since they have multiple houses, for the summer they'll go to a cooler state, cooler location, and allow us to come in and destroy their house, have our run of the place, and make it nice and beautiful for them when they come back. So that's the goal right now. But yeah, so I'm super excited about that. That one kicks off next week. So we'll be over there getting that done, and we should be done with all our stuff in September.
It's a long time.
Yeah. And it's just because we've got so many trades that it's got to just be like step
Organized,
by step.
yeah.
Yeah. So it is one of those things where I was looking at, I'm like, can we crunch this time frame down? They're not going to be back until October anyway. So
are you allowed
it's
to
fine.
take like before and after pictures?
Oh yeah. So we have a video series that we're doing for some of our projects. One of the video series, we've got one more video to kind of wrap up and do like the whole, hey, here's what it looks like. So I took the video for the before of this one.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just waiting for that thing to kind of officially kick off before we post that.
Sick, dude. Hell yeah.
So, yeah. And then let's transition to something that you don't like.
It's growing on me.
Median purchase price for April came in at $480,000. We skipped our numbers, didn't we?
Yeah. Not much has changed.
No, not much has changed at all.
Nothing really. Interest rates barely under 7.
Yeah.
That's all people care about right
Closed
now.
is up a little bit. Active is
Keeps slowly
roughly
going down.
Yeah, still in the 8,000s. Anyways, all right, there you go. There's your numbers. You can have your talking point. Everything's been the same since the beginning of the year for the most part. Median purchase price for April, Greater Phoenix area, is at $480,000. Now, if we look at this from May of last year, that is down $60,000. Should we panic? No. Why? Because it is up $14,000 from last month alone. So obviously there's going to be certain things with seller concessions in there that we have to account for. We've been talking about that multiple times, so we don't need to dive into that again. But I think we hit our low in December or January, and since then it's either
7 months ago. Right?
I think it's 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Anyways, hit our low 5 or 6 months ago, and then we've been seeing it hold steady there, and now we're seeing it start to tick back up. Any reason why you feel like in June we would start to see it creep, or in, I guess this is numbers for April, why would see in April these numbers start to tick back up again?
Natural selection.
What does that mean?
Well, I mean, like, if something goes down, it eventually has to go back up.
Or it just goes down forever.
Yeah, but then you're talking about a whole economic collapse and a lot bigger issues for us. But I do know, especially in Arizona, especially the summertime, it is the hot buying season.
Is that the wife?
No, it's the side chick. Just kidding. Yeah. But it's so in Arizona, the beginning of the year, well, the first half of the year, people start to pick up buying and stuff. Just because a lot of people have kids and stuff that use the summer. Although it's god awful to fucking move in the summertime, you know.
But it's a natural time. Kids are getting out of school, so you don't have to mess up anything with that.
Yeah.
Do we gotta take this?
No.
Just answer it on the podcast. But babe, welcome to the podcast.
Should be mad.
Really? But, well, Adam's still here. He's working late.
Oh, it was my son. He's learning how to text. I don't know. I don't think he's texting. I think he's learned how to hit the talk to text button.
Oh.
He's like, "Hey, Dad, it's Carson. Can you get popsicles?" But yeah, I just think it's, that part of the year, and obviously, when more people start buying, that starts to increase the value of homes.
Yep. That, and people have got their taxes done for the year. So
Oh,
they've
yeah,
got
taxes.
their financial plan for the
totally
year,
forgot about
stuff
that.
like that. So it's pretty natural to see that uptick, especially when it's annoying for people to be like, oh my gosh, it's 100 degrees outside. What are you doing?
Exactly.
But
And with the amount of inflation that happened for like the 2 years, that's why you see the drastic decrease in price.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, that's, it's a good time in Arizona, baby.
I feel like that's the 14th, for it to be up $14,000, and then look at, okay, it was only a very select handful of cities that saw a drop in the month over month versus the bulk of them seeing the appreciation in that.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's indicating that we're in a healthy spot for the real estate market right now. We've had a lot of people talking about doom and gloom. The market's crashing. The financial stuff is just going to go in the shitter. This is it. It's going down. Mm-hmm. It's like...
Yeah, and we have low inventory. Mm-hmm. So, but it slowly keeps going down, so people are still buying. And I think part of the low inventory could be because... I feel like we've said this before. We probably have. We've repeated ourselves a lot because the market's been the same. But
and everyone says the same talking points over and over. So it's our job to be like, hey, dipshits, we will tell you over and over, you're fucking wrong.
Mm-hmm. But people who have recently bought a home have a low interest rate. Mm-hmm. And most people who already had a home before the boom refinanced with a lower interest rate. So there's, unless something happens in their life or their lifestyle changes, they make more money, they want to upgrade, downgrade. Mm-hmm. There's no reason to sell right now.
Yeah.
So.
And like we said, there's 4.5 million people in the county, so.
And growing.
Yeah.
Have you been over the 303 to see all that building's going up fast? The Microsoft thing? Or no, Intel?
Oh, yeah.
The Intel thing over there?
Dude, the speed at which they're putting that thing up, it's ridiculous.
Well, that's because they have money.
They're pumping like several billion dollars into it.
You can solve everything with money. Look at Magic Johnson. You ever seen the Simpson episode or the South Park episode?
No.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
I think as long as the lines is like they just start injecting people with money because it worked for Magic Johnson. Cures everything.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but even builders are getting the okay out here to build uptake their already. I feel like they've been building a lot, building more homes.
Yeah,
like one of the guys on the team was showing like a family friend or something for like little, 3-2, not much of a backyard, like real close homes for like $350-ish, which is super affordable actually right now. And super nice. It's a new build home, but if you don't like a backyard maintenance, it's a younger couple. But they have over 70 spec homes.
Oh wow! What company is that through?
I don't know. It's over by my house, like off of the.
Yeah.
So where they have all that land, so it just started. There's a place called Mason Ranch that they're building over there.
Yeah.
Like I think D.R. Horton's built. Everybody's building over there.
Everyone's building.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. So it's like there's still like spec homes, which we talked about taking advantage of those out there. And then even we were talking about the reason for the low inventory with people refinanced have really good interest rates and people who bought have really good interest rates. Well, you're starting to see a lot more homes that have that are up for sale who have assumable loans. So these people who got VA loans or FHA loans that have, like I saw one advertised, they were advertising they have a 2.25% interest rate. Okay,
because I saw stuff about this on Instagram where they're talking about some of this where you can take over someone's loan and you're going to make the payments on the rest of the loan, but it's not that you have to. It seemed that the deed transfer and the loan transfer were separate. Like you didn't have to necessarily just completely satisfy the loan before.
Yeah, because a lot of people like the loan for the house and the deed of the property.
Are two separate things.
Two totally separate things. Because I think with the lender, you sold like a promissory note. I forget. I literally just took a class about it for my C classes. I should know this. Yeah, but there's ways around it. But it's kind of like a wholesaling where there's like you still need a purchase contract, but yet there's another separate contract you put in there to protect yourself so you can sell it off to other investors. It's the same thing, where it's like it's another type of contract that is between you, the buyer, or whatever. So it's still technically in his name, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I haven't looked. I've been wanting to look more into it. That's definitely more on the investor side.
Yeah.
But assumable loans, you still have to qualify.
Mm-hmm. You can't just
but they have
some
you can't
schmuck
just
off the street who's like, here's money.
Exactly. Yeah. So they have a loan for $300,000 at 2.25. They're trying to sell their house for $400,000. So essentially, what you would do is that you would cut a check for $100,000 and then assume the loan. Granted, that's a little bit higher of a number. A lot of these assumable loans, they don't have a lot of equity in the home. So you're probably like the one I saw for 2.25. They were trying to, I think it was like they were trying to get $440,000 for it, and the original loan was at $400,000. But it wasn't even probably worth that much. So you would cut. So in that scenario, you'd cut like your down payment, quote unquote, would be the $20,000 to $40,000, and then you would assume their loan. The loan would go in your name, but you get the interest rate. It doesn't. What's that called? You don't get a amortization. Can you say that?
Amortization.
Yes. So it's like you take over at year 26.
Yeah. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So is this for? You may have said this already. Is this for conventional?
FHA,
VA, FHA?
Government based, so VA.
Okay. So not conventional usually?
Yeah.
Okay.
9 times out of 10.
Okay. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like, and this is where, I feel like you said, this does seem to be almost like the wholesaler client market, where you've got people who call and they're like, would you like to sell your house? And I feel like the crude way to maybe describe wholesaling is, if a wholesaler were to call me and say, hey, would you sell your house for $325,000? I say yes. We have a contract that's written up, and they have no intention of buying my house for $325,000. They're going to go find a third party. So if it's like Joe, he's like, hey, I'll buy your house for $325,000, and then he goes to the market and says, hey, I've got this house that is actually probably worth in the $400,000, so I'll sell it to someone for a deal at $375,000. You say, hey, I'll buy it at $375,000, and basically there's this workaround where the wholesaler gets to pocket $50,000, and you essentially almost buy the house directly from me.
Mm-hmm.
So I struggle with wholesaling just because being on the real estate side, and what we do is to say, hey, how do we help people? Realtors don't do wholesaling. And the reason why,
some of them do,
but it kind of gets into a gray area.
They're not real realtors, they just have their real estate license.
Right. And usually it becomes a gray area in terms of how you set things up, because you need to make sure it's very clear that they are not your client that you're working with, because as realtors, we need to be looking out for we need to be doing our fiduciary duty to our client. Mm-hmm. So that's where it's in some ways the same thing with the loan assumption, that, hey, there are going to be some cases where it makes sense. There's going to be some cases for people where, hey, wholesaling will make sense. The majority of people know. Yeah. That's why.
But the assumable loans, there's no risk.
Mm-hmm.
If you have enough to cut the check and quote your quote unquote down payment, then you're just taking over the loan. But it's the same. Actually, taking over an assumable loan, you probably need about a 45-day close. It takes a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But you still have to get but it's more it's more of a natural home buying process than versus like doing a wholesale or doing something which I call like creative financing.
Yes.
It's a lot more.
Yes. Which I still just look at it as in terms of people where if they're looking at it going, hey, I'm going to have to let my house go, I think it's always still worth the conversation to say, hey, let's talk to a realtor. Like, let's talk to Mason to see what do the numbers actually look like? What are the options? Because we do have things with these iBuyers where it might be, hey, in some cases it's going to work out, some cases it's not.
Yeah.
Because like you said, for the people where they what was the example? 440 and 400 were the two prices.
Yeah.
On those right there, you're going to be struggling with the title fees, probably along with realtor fees, things of that nature. So yes, in some cases that absolutely works. It's going to help people out of a pinch, and it's definitely going to be good. In some cases, it's like, hey, talk to someone.
You're talking about like the listing agent, like listing your home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where if you've got like on that, if it's a 6% listing, you're looking at $24,000. So the 440 to 400, now you're looking at, okay, there's 16 to play with. So, and out of that has to come payments for title, which is going to be a couple $1,000s, not a ton. But at the end of the day, that number starts dwindling down, and there's not a lot of room for negotiation.
Oh yeah, people who are selling like that is for a specific reason.
Yeah.
They don't have that much equity in it.
Right.
But I mean, like, even I've got a list of my buyers too, where I tell them, I'm like, hey, I'm going to send you homes, and I usually always up their qualified purchase price for right now for the specific reasons, because hey, no matter the price, I mean, obviously they're qualified for 400. I'm not sending them $600,000 homes,
Yeah.
but I'm like, hey, just do the ones you like, because I can go in through the back end and find out what kind of loan they have on it. I can either call the lender, talk to the listing agent about
see how many days it's been on the market.
But see if it's, because it's an assumable loan it's a selling feature, and a lot of agents don't utilize that because they don't know too much about it. So if I take a listing that has an FHA loan on it, like you're not saying that you have to do it that way, but it's a selling point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially for somebody who's pre-qualified for 400 at 6.8%. They find a house they like for 450, but it's an assumable one, saying, all the numbers line up properly at 2.25. They're probably going to have a lower house payment and get a better house than they want.
Yeah.
So there's a lot. So even with the low inventory, there's more options for the buyers to get what they want. Because a $400,000 house with 20% down, you're still looking at like $2,100 a month, So the interest rate sucks.
Yep.
So it's out there. If you're looking to buy, if you need to buy, don't hesitate, and don't wait for your house that you like at 420 to be selling for 470 in 6 months. Not saying it will happen, but
yeah, median purchase price went up $14,000 last month.
14.
Yep. It's not going down anymore right now. So unless we start seeing it take another dive, it started to trend upward. So
who knows in this economic climate?
Yeah. We just follow what we see and go from there. All right. Should we wrap it up?
Yep.
Where can they find you?
Could you hear that? That was through my chest. You can find me on Instagram. I think it's at MasonOxendale. I post cool stuff. You should check it out.
I took a break from posting because we had wedding stuff and then just downtime with the wife, but I'm going to try and get that back in gear.
Oh, is that because you were having lots of sex?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
We were having a good time together. You can follow what we're doing on social at SITO_building. If you want to reach out directly through text message or phone call, 602-471-8182.
Or even better number, because I also have his number, is 623-824-1770.
Is that yours?
Yeah.
Okay. Send all your real estate questions to that number. And if you guys do start coming in droves, at least for me, I try and respond to my stuff probably by the evening, because I'm starting to batch things together just because I'm like, all right, I can't stop partway through the day. I had 2 or 3 people texting me today, and I'm like, I can't be just stopping. Anyways.
You just put an automatic thing, your notification, do not disturb. And you can take certain contacts off of it. Yeah. And then you can have it send an automatic thing, be like, hey, I got your message. I'll respond to you between
these hours.
4. Yeah, exactly.
I might do that.
By the end, I'll respond to you 100% by the end, some shit like that. But yeah, that'll help.
Yeah. All right. we appreciate you guys for listening. Really happy to have the guest on. I guess it was a week and a half ago now, but
do me a favor too, that if you actually listen to the entire podcast, especially all the way to the end, will you just comment with like a poop emoji so we can find out if anybody listens to the end?
And if you do, we'll get in contact with you and we'll send you some kind of merch. We'll sign a shirt and send it to you because we're that big of a deal.
We want to give them value, not devalue. You sign the shirt, now he's got to throw the shirt away.
Why? If they listen to an hour podcast of ours, that means they're being nice to us and they probably like us. Or hate us and they're hate listening. And then we'll send you a signed shirt that you can burn.
There you go.
Yeah. So, poop emoji. We'll reach out. We'll get this taken care of. Like, subscribe, tell your friends because...
And a shirtless picture of Thaddeus.
We could do that.
So until next time.
I hope your hammer stays accurate.
Your Wi-Fi fast.
And you work blessed.
See you, everybody.
Bruh.